Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Grandmaster Josh Trowbridge with the WorldMATATangSooDoFederation. Today, I want to get into a bit of a more of a series I'm going to hit on a lot of with our basics. Just, I don't want to say confusion, but there's a lot of conflict, if you will, of what's the time and place. Do you, in today's age, change your curriculum to fit a modern street fight approach, or do you stay absolute traditionalist? My personal opinion is it's a bit of both. When I have people come in as beginners, it's a very traditional approach. Part of that is the majority of people that come in to our schools are not athletes. They haven't trained before, they haven't done a lot of sports before, so they're very uncoordinated. They may not even go to the gym. So you really have to start with a foundation. Our basics are built to develop our strength, our timing, our focus, our flexibility. So all these come into play. So I'm just going to start today on one approach you can take to the simplest straight punch. So as we get into this, and a lot of it's more for conversation. Everybody has their own theories, their philosophies, and it's not wrong. As long as it works, it's not wrong. So sometimes people don't think of different variations. People don't think of, a different approach to a technique. And all I want to do is get a conversation going of sharing. That's the biggest part that we can do is share. It's that approach, the whole philosophy of use what's useful to you and discard what's not. So that's what I want to try to get going a little bit today. Uh, you look at our basic white belt level, if you're in just a straightforward stance, how do we move? This is, I've seen so many variations in this and so much conflict just in this simple piece of how do we step to the next technique. So the way I was brought up, everything moves simultaneously. As you step, when this foot hits, that strike is at the exact same time. So everything hits right as we land. Over time, I personally have started to teach a little different than that. I put a twist on it. So as I have students move, because I want them to work on the hip twist, the foundation, the movement, all those little pieces, I actually have them step first, then strike. There's also a hidden technique in there that I use with my advanced students, and that's why. So they learn both ways. If it's a straight punch on impact, then great, we're gonna use that. But as we move, maybe there's another technique in there. Now we're wound up. So it's move, hit. So you develop pieces of that. And then eventually is just the move. So as it's, so you start to minimize and maybe it's smaller as we move. So while we start, white belts out top, really locked up, foundation, structure. As we move, we start to develop. Maybe it is because we're against the wall. We have to be tight. So a lot of this is broadening our mind up. So I want us to start a conversation. I want everybody to comment, add videos in the comment section. How do you teach that basic technique? How do you do a straight punch? How do you teach the beginners? How do you teach the intermediate? How do you teach the advanced? So again, my basic movement, move, hit. They can look. Intermediate starts to be all time together. My advanced is nothing more than movement. We're here. How do we move? Very little movement. Maybe my back's against something. Maybe they're very close, I'm pinned. So how do we move? Different angles. So let's see if we can't get a conversation going. And I hope everybody respectfully, and that's the big part, I want all the topic very respectful. We're all out to learn. Anybody that wants to start arguments, anybody wants to start this is right, this is wrong, all that stuff, I'm just gonna yank it. So let's see how many people we can get and see how many variations and how much we can learn from other people. So again, my name is Grandmaster Josh Trowbridge with WorldMATATangSooDoFederation. Hope to see you guys soon.